Oh, wow. Steve just hit the record button and I was not ready. So I don't like this. I'm
Gather
going to
yourself.
bring up right away what is different of me right now.
Your shoulders have evened, and you have the holy white background again behind you, like you're in heaven doing this. You're at the gates of heaven.
Yeah, I am. I feel like I am, but you're incorrect, my friend.
Oh, your
I have
Canada
a new
soccer hat.
hat.
Yes, it's
I have a
beautiful.
new Canada soccer hat. And can I say this? I was so excited for it for a long time. I'm not sure it looks good or it's like I feel like it's a floppy old man hat with like divots in here and stuff. So I'm going to say mildly disappointed, but I'm actually really upset.
You should be. It looks like an old hat. I'm just gonna be honest. I thought when you were like pointing it out, you found it and you brought it back out of a bin that you other hats were crushing it.
I know. It came in and I was like, yeah. And I bought one for me and my two boys. And we each put it on and we looked like, when you're 90 and you just go for a walk like with the ducks and you put on like an old hat.
That's
That's what it feels like.
it
But
is.
I'm gonna stay strong with it because it's my only Canada hat. So anyway, now that we've bored everyone to tears.
At least it's not one of those straight brim hats that
Oh
like
no.
you're too old for that. You can't wear those. You can't get away with it.
If you're past 16 years old and you have a straight brimmed hat, you have to look at yourself
Yeah.
in the mirror and
Yeah.
self-evaluate.
Yeah.
It's just a little
Too much.
it's too much.
So at least this fits a bit for you.
Yeah, be an old man like me.
Accept
Don't
it.
wear a straight brimmed hat.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that we've
Yeah.
solved the world's biggest problem, we're going to talk about the European Championships round of 16. I'll tell you what, I think it was Sid from Tim and Sid. Was it Sid? What's his last name? Like Tixiro or
Yeah.
something? Anyway,
Yeah.
he nailed it. He's like, is this tweet? It was just a tweet. I feel sorry for anybody not watching the European
Yeah.
Championships. And
Yeah.
it destroyed me because it is so good.
I know. It's like I feel like a little kid and I'm watching soccer and falling in love with it for the first time. It's so fun. Those
Yeah.
two games, Croatia, Spain, and France, Switzerland. Come on.
Yeah.
Like
You meant to say Ukraine, Sweden, but but
Ukraine, Sweden made me want to take like a hard, long look in the mirror and to smash my face directly into the mirror. So
the
bad.
for any parent out there or dad or husband, frankly, for that matter, what we go through on the day of games, where now we know that the games are at 12 and 3. Between 8 and 11:50, you're the greatest husband and father in the world. You're doing everything
Yeah.
to bank points.
Yeah.
Because I told my wife yesterday, I'm like, listen, between 12 and 5,
I know.
just I'm dead.
I
Just
know.
that's it. I'm not alive. So in the morning, you got to make it, you got to make up all those points.
Disaster. I have the same thing. We're planning the weekend, and my wife was like, "So Saturday afternoon, this," and I said, "But at 3, it's England, Ukraine." So
Yeah,
it was just
exactly.
fun
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. So speaking of that, let's dive into the first game real quick. I mean, this game, it kind of, I want to say I predicted something like this, but I didn't because I said Denmark's run ends and Wales wins. But that was such a Wales performance. And I'm going to say Wales performance. I like the team. I was rooting kind of I kind of like them. But was that not Gareth Bale just summed up now at the end of his career? I'm going to say I find he disappointed me. And if he's not firing, Wales dies.
Very true. And Ramsey was whatever. They gave it the good old college try. Like the announcers just kept saying that, and it was like they're like forgiving them, and they got beat. Denmark's better. I always think Wales is a pretty solid team. I think I picked Wales, so like I blew that one right off the bat.
Yeah, I think
But Denmark looks good, man. Like these guys are just, and I guess they're riding this sort of emotional wave right now too. But
yeah. But
I don't know.
what? I'm going to say, like, when we watch Euros and all these things, like, you look at a Denmark and you're like, who's that left winger? Who's that right winger? You kind of don't know. And I looked up like that one of their wingers is and now I forget the friggin' team. It's in Italy. He plays for a big team. I think it's Udinese or someone.
Sampdoria, is it Damsgaard?
No, that's the other one,
I
like the
love
young
him.
kid from Sampdoria. So like they
I
got two
love him.
Serie A wingers.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got Braithwaite is in Barcelona. I mean, he doesn't play much, but still, like,
I know.
got that. And that Casper Dolberg, and I'm not going to sound like I'm a professional, but I've known the name for many, many years because of Championship Manager, not because I'm a professional. But he was like a wonder kid in Championship Manager, and his even in real life, his career was flying until he's had COVID twice this year and an injury.
Yeah.
And he's with Nice in France, but I have a feeling this guy may be on to bigger things real soon.
They're a good team, and I probably overvalued Wales. Well, I obviously did because you know, I look at these players like you, and Denmark's I wouldn't say they're loaded, but they're well stocked. Let's just say that.
Like Delaney, Højbjerg in the middle, like those two monsters. Like these are real players, man. Like I don't know. I think that we undervalued them, and I think it was just a lack of knowledge of their actual individual players for me anyway.
100%, like mistake admitted.
Yeah, but anyway, that was good. I kind of I enjoyed that game. It was 4-0. It was an absolute beating. So we'll jump from there to another pick that I got wrong, Italy, Austria. But what a game that was. Austria pushed them the whole way. I really like that Austrian team, but man, it might be Italy's time.
You, first of all, I'm going to give you all the credit right here and put you on a pedestal. You didn't pick the upset, but Austria did you proud and did the right thing for you, like the right thing for you. But they made your pick worthy. Like they look like such a solid, good team. There's some players in there. I forget. There's a couple that are rumored to be moving already. And could it be one of those tournament things like where players move and they're a bust? Maybe, I don't know. But they really showed up in that game. Yeah. But yes, it could be Italy's tournament. I mean, Italy and England are getting a lot of hype now from all their countries, and people are getting all excited. And Italy playing this sort of swashbuckling style, and they fought through that and they got their victory. It could be. I mean, I don't know. It's so hard to pick this stuff, but Italy just looks good. They look deep. They look solid. If they get Chiellini back at any point, I don't know what the deal is there. They're going to only get stronger.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to pick against them. And to me, that Belgium-Italy game is another final. Belgium-Portugal's a final. Belgium-Italy's a final. Like, but really, this could actually be a final, Belgium-Italy. Like, this could be the winner of the tournament.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I was proud of Austria, but I'm believing in Italy now, I think. So
wow, there's so many Italians that are going to be so happy with you right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's good though. You know what? They deserve it. And this one, the Czechs and the Netherlands, this is so Netherlandsy.
He's so like, and De Boer's gone already. He's like, I'm out.
He didn't even get to the change room before I think they cleared him out. Like, but that's their fault. He's terrible. I'm sorry. He's terrible, and it's their fault for hiring him. And this is just, I mean, last show we're like, this could be Netherlands' sneaky year, and you watch that, and like, De Ligt is grabbing the ball. Like, it's just dumb decisions all over the place, and you know what though? And I'm going to say it, Pavel Kankura, a very good friend of mine, Czech Republic, I texted him the next day, and like his roof like blew off his house. I mean, they were there, and we said it last week, we didn't give them enough credit. This is a team. I mean, this is a team.
Let me talk about the Dutch quickly. The Dutch just did it so Dutchy, like you said, whatever that makes sense to me or not. But they just do it. Like how many years and how many teams when you look on paper at that talent, and it's a total look on paper exercise that doesn't always play out, as we know, but you just can't help but look at on paper and say, geez, and these young guys coming through like Malen and Gravenbeck, and like, they're gonna be stars, you know it. For some reason, like, they don't mesh as well as they should. They don't live up to the sum of their parts too often. And maybe they set the tone way back when they became a power and they didn't win that game against Germany in the 74 World Cup. Like, I know I'm getting real philosophical, but they scored in the first minute, and instead of burying the game, they took the piss and passed and let Germany hang around. Then they lost. And it's
Yeah.
almost like that emotional scar is so hard to get past. They won in 88, but it's like they have it in their DNA because of that now.
Yeah.
And you nailed Czech, and good for Pavel. I heard there's a couple of announcer things I'm going to talk about today. Like one announcer just said about the Czechs, and it was Kilban as well, because he's played them. He just said they're always technically, every player is technically good. They're always big and strong and technically good. So playing a team like that in the tournament, they're not an easy out.
Yeah.
And they've got
Totally.
more quality again, maybe a little a la Denmark that maybe we've underrated. But guys like Suchek, I love,
Oh man. Yeah.
you know, with West Ham. So the Czechs are just another one of those nations that just produce, even when they don't have their superstars, that all their players are technically sound. And
Yeah.
it's another
And
underrated team for sure. And it's
yeah.
interesting to see them get through.
And that Schick guy up front, I don't understand how Roma didn't believe in him. I think they had him like 1 season or 1.5 seasons, and then
Yeah.
he was off. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I know it's a tournament. It's one tournament. It's the Milan Barros syndrome or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Checks too, to be yeah, that kind
Yeah.
of makes
Yeah.
weird. But this guy's a player, man. This team, now I find myself, I'm like Mr. Underdog. That's all I want at this point.
Yeah.
But good for them. Great win. And you can say, oh, they played a man up. Too bad. That's what the other team did. And they can only beat what's in front of them. So
Yeah.
well done to them.
100%.
Belgium, Portugal. That was a strange game for me in particular, because I have no allegiance to either. I really don't care. But I found myself, like, I'll tell you, with 15 minutes left, I was Portuguese. I don't know why. I was like,
Wow.
no, I was so dying for them to score for
Because it was
no
an
reason.
assault. Because it was an assault on their goal. The whole second half was just like it was like a blitzkrieg from the war. They were just bombing the goal. It was like constant stuff.
Yeah. And here's what I'll throw to you. I said it last week, but Bruno was horrific. He came on and did all right. But Felix, I don't know if that massive money move to Atletico was too soon, but he was dreadful. And I don't know. I just don't know what to say about it. I mean,
a lot of pressure on him, a lot of expectations, and he hasn't been the wonder boy, maybe still in Ronaldo's shadow, and it's tough to come out of. I don't know what the answer is, but yeah, he certainly hasn't transferred it lately. So much depth in those teams again, man. Like watching Portugal sub, bringing on Bruno and João Felix off the bench, and like I think Ruben Neves has still not played again. Like these guys are just like, they're deep. You know, we talk about Denmark being well stocked. These teams are deep.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Same with Belgium. I'm in Belgium's corner, so I was the opposite, and it's neat to see Belgium win a game like that. You know, like I take a positive out of that from them, as in they've usually been free flowing or they lose, and they weren't free flowing. They had a great goal. I thought Hazard's goal was a nice goal. There's a lot of people blaming the keeper. I think the way that ball swerved, it's so hard to blame the keeper.
Yeah,
I think it was tough. That's just my opinion. I thought they played well. Huge advantage for Italy if De Bruyne's hurt.
And Hazard too.
And Hazard. And I don't know. And Hazard looked like a hammy, which is going to be tough. I don't know what De Bruyne was. He rolled his ankle, I think, got stepped on. If those guys are out, if they're gone, did your chair just eject you down?
No, my son is sitting beside me and pushed like the down button on the chair, and it scared the living crap out of me.
You just dropped. It was amazing. The speaker, honestly, it was like right here. Oh my God, that was awesome.
Yeah.
But Belgium, that's a good win. If those guys are healthy, they got a chance against Italy. If those guys aren't healthy, I can't see them holding off and defending for their life and trying to snatch one. You need De Bruyne. I thought Hazard was on fire. Best game I've seen with Belgium in a while. He was flying, getting fouled, very Hazard-like. You'd see at Chelsea. I actually thought he's going to nip one on a counter or lay one off for Lukaku or somebody.
Yeah.
But just what a fascinating game to see Belgium just almost parking the bus second half.
Yeah, and two things I'll bring up quickly about Portugal. My son's laughing his head off. Is like that was the greatest thing that's happened for him since COVID right now. Renata Sanchez for Portugal dropped off the face of the earth like 3 years ago. Couldn't even get into the Swansea team. I think it was Swansea.
Yes,
he looked like the best, greatest human being I've ever seen. I'll throw that to you, just a comment, and then and I threw this to Jay Costa, and I gave him like a 2-day buffer to get over his horrific
Yeah,
experience
yeah.
of Portugal. But was their manager? Is it? I think it was up to him to get the best out of Bruno. We know Bruno should be a 10. He had Bruno out wide in this weird form. I mean, if you've got a guy like that, maybe you got to adjust a few. I don't know. Maybe it's the manager's fault. Maybe if there was a really top man, maybe he is a top manager. I don't know. But anyway, those are my two thoughts on Portugal. But I don't want to beat it to death. You know, we've talked.
Bernardo, for sure. The whole time I watched him, I thought, I hope Liverpool would buy him to replace Wijnaldum. I thought he's maybe come back to where he was supposed to be, a little
Yeah.
João Felix type of thing. Like he got a lot pushed on him early, and now he seems to be dealing with it. As far as the formation, maybe it's like in England with Scholes and Gerrard and Lampard, and you're trying to fit people in and put someone wide and another 10, and there's like 4 number 10s. Like they got a lot of guys like that. You had Jota should play out wide over Fernandez, all this kind of thing. So it's a tough puzzle to fit all these guys in. So probably it is the manager's job to be the guy who fixes that, and he didn't. I just don't like Bruno. Like Fernandez. Like, I know he's at United. I don't know. Something about him I just don't like. Even though I know he's good, I'm not going to say he's not. So anyway.
Yeah. So the next one here is a confessional for me. Croatia, Spain. Wasn't that into it because I just, whatever. I just wasn't into it, but I watched it. Watched the whole thing. As soon as Spain went up 3-1, I turned it off. And like, I didn't know what happened until about 7 hours later. I was just looking at my phone and I was like, are you serious? 5-3 extra. I'm not, and I feel like I let every snob down in the whole world for me changing and missing that. But what the hell? That's well done by Croatia, and even better, well done to Spain for recovering. Usually when you get that massive, oh my God, 2 goals in the, you're done. But they fought back. So I'm almost believing in Spain.
I'm going to tick off the Joey Fourniers and the Spain fans. I don't believe in them. I thought it was a great win for them. I think it's a win that should make people think they can and to believe in them. I totally, totally do. I'm going to say that I think they have a soft underbelly. I think they have a cute, tickly, like they're good. You tickle them and they're going to concede goals.
Yeah.
I don't buy them. They're so talented. I'm not an idiot, but I just don't buy them. I don't believe in them like I have in the past. Having said that, well done. Great job in the extra time. Absolutely dominated after that. They could have crumbled for sure. So they showed mental toughness big time. The goal the keeper let in was a disaster, and they could have crumbled from that as well, and they didn't. So, that's a lot of signs, and I'll go on record and maybe get smashed next game. I don't buy Spain. I just don't buy them in this tournament. I don't buy Morata in a big moment. I think he's a very good player for sure. His movement's insane. I don't buy him, even though he came through in that game. Busquets is coming back. The center backs, I think they're good. I don't believe in them like a PK and a Ramos. Like, I think you could bully them. The Croatia...
Two center backs, Garcia and Laporte, both can't get into the Man City team. So it's a third and fourth center back.
And Pau Torres is pretty good, and he's there.
Yeah, he was on the bench. I couldn't believe it. And that's nuts to me. It's another bench player Man United are looking at, of course.
Well, they should be looking at him, to be honest.
Sancho can't get an England team. Torres can't. Yeah. I'm like, why don't we just buy everybody that's on the bench?
It's so true. But Croatia, like, give them their due. That this nation fights constantly. They just battle. They don't give up. I just love Madrid so much. I was happy for them. And then they ran out of steam. They just couldn't do it. They're just not as deep as in the past.
Yeah. I was watching, just a useless fact. I started watching Schuker highlights the other day. Man, that guy was so good.
The goals.
I don't know. Yeah. So here's the next game, France, Switzerland, and it actually parallels to exactly what we were talking about with Spain, Croatia. Switzerland came, equalized super late, and ended up winning because that's usually how it flows, and they did. Like, I don't know, Switzerland, Czech Republic, all these teams. Denmark. What a super interesting tournament, and the parity may be so small now with big countries, little countries, tournaments, but I thought that was awesome. To see. I really enjoyed that.
Great game. I have to say, like, I 1,000,000% underestimated Switzerland.
Yeah.
And then listening in the game about how they've been together for a while, did well at youth tournaments. It's like a nice generation they've got in there. Missed it. Totally missed it. And you could see it in that game.
Yep.
It just fun to watch them.
It's fun. It's fun to watch someone that comes so big into France. Like they can have 3 teams in the tournament. They're so deep and good. But at the end of the day, I mean, what a great win. I'm just so pleased for them. And I'm pleased for France because at this point, I remember, again, somebody tweeted like when they went down 1-0, it was something along the lines of, okay, it'll be fun to watch France actually have to try now. Because it seems like they're at 60% just beating everybody. And then they went down and they're like, okay, they stepped. And when they got those 2 goals, I was like, it was one of those. But I kept watching this one, everybody. So, yeah. But
I totally agree to have to see them fight back, and they did it. But how fun is it to watch like that Seferovic when he scores? He's so intense. I wouldn't go anywhere near him when he's running like that. He looks like he's gonna kill somebody.
Yeah, same with their other front player. I forget his name, something, but he is so powerful. Yeah. He's an animal, and like those 2 up front together, it must be a disaster to play against.
Would never want to play against those 2. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So we'll go to the most historic match of these ones, England-Germany. That no matter what year you're in the world, England-Germany is always going to be a big one. And again, like we said last week, the Southgate train we are on, and we love it.
Yeah.
And I was even, and everybody in the world was like, no Grealish, no Sancho. What are you playing Phillips for? What's Maguire's in the team now? What the hell? Saka's playing. This guy's an idiot. And then it's like 2-0, and people are still. If Saka starts the next game, he doesn't know what he's talking about. What is happening? Are we in bizarro Jerry land?
I'm so with you, man. Like, no matter who he picks, there's always gonna be someone thinking about who he didn't pick. And Saka was sick for the first 30 minutes of that game. He was off the chart, and he burnt out, and he subbed him, and he brought on Grealish, and he won the game for him. Like,
exactly.
So maybe Grealish is the best impact sub ever. But now Southgate in his first 2 tournaments has made a semi and a quarter.
Yeah,
a semi and a quarter.
Not good enough.
It's like, and
they haven't conceded a goal.
They haven't been scored on. I feel like Southgate is like, I don't know, it's a weird way, but it's like watching like The Bachelorette. And I'm not supposed to watch The Bachelorette. And people are like, you're stupid to watch The Bachelorette. But I'm so into The Bachelorette. Like every guy that's going for the girl or vice versa in The Bachelor, I'm like, oh my God, as if he got voted off. Didn't get a rose. I feel guilty loving Southgate, and I'm invested in Southgate.
100%. I'm happy for him. I don't care about England or the players. I'm happy for Southgate. And then the reporter brings up when he missed the penalty. Yeah. Did you see that?
No.
The reporter's like, so when essentially when you let down the team and missed that penalty, and do you think this makes up for it? Like, that's kind of like what he asked him.
Do you think it makes up for it?
I don't know. I'm paraphrasing and exaggerating, but like, what is wrong? Like, I don't know.
So bad for the guy. Like I'm one who always thought Sancho should be playing, and I think he's so good. Who am I to pick, man? He's got to drop one of those guys. He showed faith in Sterling. Probably he's the guy you could have dropped based on form. He didn't care. Stuck with his guy. And look, he stuck with his guy and gave him confidence. I was screaming for Kane to come off. Stuck with him, scored the goal.
Yeah, dropping Foden. Because me and you were texting each other like, Kane's got to come out. And then he scores a header. We're like, so we meant take him out after he scored.
I was like, now take him out. And he still didn't take him out. I wanted him out to like rest him and to waste time with a sub or whatever.
Yeah.
There's
crazy.
2 brilliant things though I loved is whoever tweeted, I think you retweeted it, whoever tweeted and said, it looks like every game Kane's playing after getting a vaccine. That was hilarious. It's exactly what he looks like. I don't know, man, but he scored. So I guess who cares? That's such a great tweet. And I think I said it to you, but I love that the announcer said Grealish's cross was considerate. When I watch the cross every time, all I think of is that's the perfect description. It was so considerate. It was like, here. It's the way he clipped it with his left foot. Like, here you go, Kane.
I love
the best call from an announcer in my mind. I don't know who it was. It was the color guy. So good.
Yeah, it was. And that tweet was the best tweet of the Euros so far. I
Okay.
don't retweet tweets really ever, but I saw that and I'm
Uh,
like, I have to share this with the world or my like 14
I thought
followers.
you came up with it, and I was like in love because I
Oh,
was cuddling a
imagine.
Mark doll, and then I'm like, oh no, it's not him. So good on
Yeah.
England.
So,
Good for
yeah.
them. Rice should have been sent off for sure. I
Oof.
agree.
Yeah.
So they're lucky in that respect. Mueller could have scored that goal. You bank on him 99 times out of 100, and this was the time he missed. So there's their bit of luck. But you can't
Yeah.
knock the performance. And you can't, like a
No,
guy like Sterling is playing well consistently. Declan Rice is doing well in there. Phillips is doing well in there. You
no.
know, there
They're
you go.
doing it. Yeah, it's great. Pickford's haircut is horrific. There's nothing to say about it.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know, but I don't like him because of that only. There's no other reason I don't like him other than his mushroom cut. Like
And his
I
shirt
had that
was
in grade 6. I parted my hair in the middle and it
uh,
went down to each side, but his tail, I don't know, it's so bad.
he's
Anyway,
the goal. Like goal, I'm gonna make goalies mad, but he's the goalie who yells at you after something that makes you mad.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's
Yeah.
him.
Ukraine, Sweden. I know we were going back and forth during this game. You hated it. I guess I loved it because I had something invested in it. Ukraine won extra time, last minute of play. I loved it, and I'll parallel it with Croatia's doggedness, the Czechs fighting. These Eastern European teams, they're so technical. They fight to the absolute death. It must be just horrible to play against teams like this. And Ukraine's missing, they're missing quite a few players, with injury. And I mean, it looked like and I said to my other buddies, I'm watching the game, they look tired after 4 minutes. I feel like none of them are fit. Zinchenko could run forever, but everyone else looks tired. It's weird, but anyway, they battled, they fought back, and they won the game. And that tackle was horrific.
Yeah, yeah, it was bad. You're right. They fight, they battle, they got their win. I think they're better than they're showing. They do look tired. But they're another one, like you were mentioning with Denmark and all them. Like you told me about the guy coming off the bench. He's at Atlanta. Like he's been on an amazing team, doing so well. So, like, there's players there that even us snobs don't know and stuff, and people the regular don't know.
Yeah.
So I hate Sweden. I don't know why. Usually I love Sweden. They're like a neutral team, but for some reason I
Yeah.
hate them this turn. Like hate them with a passion.
Yeah, they're boring. Yeah.
They're just boring, and like they were a little more entertaining, I will say, in this game. I will say it's the best
True.
they looked, to contradict me. I wasn't into the game. Maybe it's because it was such a high with all these other games, and this was just an okay good game that I was like, nah, I don't like this anymore. And you're like,
Yeah.
you need 3-pointers or like home runs. And in my head, I was like, I do need a home run. This is boring. Like it should be
Yeah.
6-7 by now. Like there should be like so many goals. So
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm happy for you in Ukraine, deserved. And it'll be so interesting to see them play England, man.
Yeah, I really really liked Forsberg, and I know it's the cliche thing to say about Sweden, but I didn't really pay attention to a lot of their games. And Forsberg scoring all these goals, that guy was dangerous every time he touched the ball. It was crazy.
I think he hit the post twice. He was fantastic.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, for Ukraine, like you were saying, these players like Zabarny, center back, he's 18 years old. He's 18 years old playing center back in the European Championships. Shaparenko, number 10, you got to watch this guy. Anybody who's listening, this guy is going to make a big move soon. He's absolutely cool. And we all know Zinchenko from Man City. I'll tell you what, that guy got faster and stronger as the game went on. He did not stop all game. It was just, and his cross to, I mean, anybody could have scored that header. It was considerate.
It was, it doesn't fit for me. I don't know.
No.
This just was considerate.
Yeah.
You're such a Ukraine homer. Good for you, though. You're right. Those guys are sick, and watch out for them. Let's get to the quarters, man. I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So anyway, Italy.
Picks.
Yeah. Italy, Belgium. Who's your pick?
I'm going to go with Belgium. I have to stick with them. That was my pick. I feel like people are like, oh, they're FIFA number 1. Like, it's not a big pick, but I feel like it is a big pick. I feel like everybody's like, they're never going to do it. They've never done it. And like, I'm the only one picking them. That's how I feel, even though it's totally wrong. And I just made a lot of Italians angry.
Yeah, I'm going Italy. Italy for me is a different level right now. I just feel it's their tournament. Czech Republic and why am I blanking? Czech and Denmark. Czech Republic, Denmark.
Real toss up for me. Real toss up. I'm just gonna stick with the Danish emotional train and go
Yeah.
with them. Totally based on nothing but that.
Yeah, I'm a Denmark. No, they're gonna. I think they're gonna be. I think the Czechs run will end. Sorry, Pav. Um, Let me see who's next in this. Spain and Switzerland. Can I say this game already bores me? I don't know, and it's just a terrible thing. It's so boring. I don't know.
Oh, it's amazing. I'm gonna go out on a limb and pick Switzerland because I called Spain out earlier, and I already feel regretful of the pick, but I'm gonna go with Switzerland and hope they upset them.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Spain. Spain's gonna win only because I don't want them to. I
Yeah.
don't want them to be in this tournament anymore. I don't want them there. If both can go out, that would be
Let's
perfect.
put them
But
both out, and then another team gets a bye.
yeah, exactly. And so who we got next? England, Ukraine.
I'm picking England. I know you. Well, whatever. You can pick whoever you want, but I am so just. I'm almost like infatuated with Southgate at this point. It's so bad. Like it's a really bad problem. And I just want him to, like I just want it for him. When he did this at the end of last game,
Yeah,
I slow clapped on my
I know.
couch. I don't know why I like him so much.
I know. I know. I'm the same. Like, and I think I might have texted you. I hate that Ukraine's playing England right now because I want Southgate to do well. I mean, obviously, Ukraine's my team. I want them to win, but it may soften the blow at this point for me if they go out to England and Southgate. I mean, for me, England, I just be honest, England to me is going to walk them at this point. Ukraine played 120 minutes. They were tired before that game,
Yeah, yeah.
and that may have just gassed
Yeah,
them
ruin them.
absolutely completely.
Only
So,
little thing to say is like if you look at all that stat about all the miles traveled, England's never traveled yet. They've been at home all these games. It's in
true.
Rome, if I remember.
Yeah.
Shouldn't really be a big thing, big deal, but maybe, right?
Yeah, you never know. I am hoping, but I can't see. I can see the run ending here for Ukraine,
Mhm,
but
mhm.
you never know. But I'm going to take England there. So anyway, we'll be back after the quarters for another preview, and we'll see if we can do a little better with our picks this time. Yeah, and I may actually, you know what? I really want people to comment. Do I return the hat or do I keep it?
I think
That's a big topic.
whoever's listened this long, please comment about it. Like,
So,
and just say if he looks like an old man or not.
all right. See you guys later.